Live on YouTube, live on Rumble. Good afternoon, hello, and welcome to This Date in History, aka TDH. I'm A.O. Xander, and you are you viewer. Thank you, pardon me, so much for coming in and joining us. Having some issues with allergies today, so anyway, Golden Loon will be joining us, pardon me, pretty soon and all that stuff. And today is, of course, Moon's Day, aka Monday, correct? Yeah, April 27th, 2026. This show is about interesting and important events that happened today throughout the annals of recorded history, starting with, where are we starting here? The year 247, Philip the Arab marked the millennium of Rome with a celebration of the Ludi Seculares. Okay? 395, Emperor Arcadius married Aelia Eudoxia, daughter of the Frankish general Flavius Bauto. Pardon me. She became one of the more powerful Roman empresses of late antiquity. Moving on up to 1509, Pope Julius II excommunicated the Republic of Venice and endorsed his allies to attack. Wow. Venice, man. Yikes. Yeah, the other source says Pope Julius II placed the Italian state of Venice under interdict. I've heard of that word, but I don't actually know the definition. Interdict. What is interdict? Let's look this up here really quick. In Catholic canon law, an interdict is an ecclesiastical censure or ban that prohibits certain persons or groups from participating in particular rites, or that the rites and services of the church are prohibited in certain territories for a limited or extended time. So there you go. So that's, yeah, they were throwing everything they had at Venice. 1521... Battle of Mactan, explorer Ferdinand Magellan was killed by natives in the Philippines, led by Chief Lapu-Lapu. Yikes. That was 1521, so where are we right here? Oh, it's not even on the main source. 1539, refounding of the city of Bogota, New Granada, which is now Colombia, by Nicholas Felderman and Sebastian D. Belalcázar. Okay. Yeah, you try to pronounce this word better than how I just fumbled it. 1539, we got that one. 1565, first Spanish settlement in the Philippines was founded in Cebu City. Okay, cool. Oh, it's telling you to image search this, so maybe there is some text. And what is this? Okay, we're not there yet. So let's image search this really quick. I see a loon lumbering towards us. How are you doing, sir?
Doing well. Thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, the establishment of the first Spanish settlement. Spaniards retrieved at Stito Nino, brought by Magellan, had a treaty with Raja Tupaz. Okay, what is this? Yeah, the oldest city of the Philippines is Cebu City, the site of the earliest European settlement in the country, established by the first Spanish governor general and Spanish conqueror Miguel Lopez de Legazpi in 1565. It was also here, pardon me, that the oldest school in the country emerged, the University of San Carlos, USC. Oh. It says here, August 1st, 1595, USC was formerly known as the Colegio de San Ildefonso, a grammar school founded by Society of Jesus. In 1769, the Colegio was closed upon the expulsion of the Jesuits. Huh. Ah. All right.
Kicked them out.
Yeah. 1578, Duel of the Mignons claimed the lives of two favorites of Henry the Third of France and two favorites of Henry the First, Duke of Guise. So, wow, people died. That's terrible. I mean, like, they rode, you know, like the duels, you know, they're on the horse with the big old lances and everything. You know, people took those to the face and their head got turned into a grape, you know, so... 1595, the relics of Saint Sava were incinerated in Belgrade on the Varakar Plateau by Ottoman Grand Vizier Sinan Pasha. The site of the incineration is now the location of the Church of Saint Sava. That's this building right here. One of the largest Orthodox churches in the world.
Ooh.
Yeah. That's a cool photo of it. So, what else do we got? 1646, on the verge of defeat, King Charles I fled Oxford for a Scottish army camp close to Southwell near Newark-on-Trent. So he ran. What a bitch. Oh yeah, that guy, he ended up getting executed. You know, well, no, his I think they not the guillotine, but the axe. His, you know, no. Let's see here. Yeah, decapitation.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway, What else we got here? 1667, blind and impoverished English poet John Milton sold the copyright of Paradise Lost for £10, so that it could be entered to the stationary's registrar, according to the other source right here. So that way, at least he's like, getting his work out. It might not be his anymore, but he created and now it's out. Otherwise, it might never go out. He's makes zero money and nothing comes of it. A waste. 1773, British Parliament passed the Tea Act. Boston won't like this. This later led to the Boston Tea Party.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Like, this is what we think of your Tea Act, Brits. Now, 1805, normally this would be a nothing article, but if you know anything of military history, especially the USMC, this is already, even with this small statement, rather significant. 1805, the U.S. Marines attacked the shores of Tripoli.
Oh.
From the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli. Yeah, it says here, the other source, the First Barbary War, United States Marines and Berbers attacked the Tripolian city of Derna, the shores of Tripoli, part of the Marines' hymn. Yeah, that's what I just said. Oh. 1810, Ludwig von Beethoven composed his famous piece, Für Elise. And I actually have this. I should add this in the underbar section if anybody wants to listen to one. So this is Für Elise. Alright, I'll make it correct text here in a minute, but you'll recognize this. Does it sound familiar? Yeah. Now remember, Beethoven was deaf. And it's not just this over and over. It changes. It's a really good piece of music, so if you'd like to hear that, this link will be in the underbar in the description below after the live stream here. So let me just correct this really quick so that way the text is right and with the little dots over the U. Moving on up to 1813, U.S. troops under General Zebulon Pike captured York, which is now Toronto, from British regulars. Yeah, this is during the War of 1812. So, militia and Ojibwe natives forced a British withdrawal to Kingston, and Pike was killed. Oh. Yeah, the War of 1812, which lasted until 1814, and that was when Britain was trying to do an invasion of what is now the United States to get us back, And at the time, they also had Canada, so we fought one war versus the Canadians, and we got our teeth kicked in. Canadians are a force to be reckoned with on the battlefield. Like they are stereotypically known as maple-loving moose people who can't apologize more than than anything else for some reason. When you give them a gun and an enemy, the war crimes they will do, that they're the reason. Like it's said, and it's not kind of not joking. They're the reason why the Geneva Convention exists, because the things that they did on the battlefield were so horrendous that we had to make laws about that, even involved in war. So
the Canadians,
Canada is scary. So. Moving on up to 1838, fire destroyed half of Charleston. That's not good. 1840, foundation stone for new Palace of Westminster, London, laid by Sarah Barry, Sarah Barry, the wife of its architect Charles Barry. So we all know this is. Oh, this is Paradise Lost. The guy who sold it for £10.
Yeah.
So that's the book, and this.
Look at that.
Well, that's Westminster. The whole palace, everything.
Yeah.
Big Ben is on one of the inns. And actually, that Big Ben is the bell, not the tower. But you'll recognize this. Let's see here if I can find right here.
I've gone by that many times.
Yep. What else do we got here? 1841, Immaculata Kosen, first Zen teacher of D.T. Suzuki, found the awakening. All right, cool. Where is it? I'd like to go to the awakening and get the hell out of this madness. 1857, establishment of Jewish congregations in Lower Austria were prohibited. That's not cool. 1859, Pomona sunk in North Atlantic, drowning all 400 on board. Yikes. 1841, Confederate, actually no, not this one, we want this one. U.S. President Abraham Lincoln suspended the writ of habeas corpus during the U.S. Civil War, so that way, we can do what we wanted to with arrested Confederates without really giving them any rights. 1861, this one I found personally hilarious. West Virginia seceded from Virginia after Virginia seceded from the Union. So this is what we think of you guys. Fuck you, we're staying with the Union. Almost heaven, West Virginia. 1865, Cornell University, Ithaca, New York nowadays, was chartered, or actually in Ithaca, New York. So, 1865 as well, the steamboat SS Sultana exploded in the Mississippi River, killing up to 1,800 of the 2,427 passengers in the greatest maritime disaster in United States history. Most are paroled Union POWs on their way home. Holy shit.
Wow.
You survived the war only to get blown up on the way back. That is one horrible way to go. 74, White League, paramilitary white supremacist organization formed. Yikes.
What was it called?
White League. The White League. Yeah. Well, I hope they didn't last long. 1875, New York Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Children, the NYSPCC, or 2Cs, I guess. The world's first such agency was incorporated. Good. You know, kids need protection. 1877, Rutherford B. Hayes removed federal troops from Louisiana during Reconstruction ends. So this is the end of Reconstruction. So 65 to 77, or maybe 66 to 77. So at least 11 years to rebuild, from all the war-torn areas and everything. 1881, pogroms against Russian Jews start in Elizabethgrad, wherever the heck that is. Elizabethgrad? That sounds Russian. So. 1893, Richard King Dick Seddon succeeded John Ballance as Premier of New Zealand and leader of Liberal Party. Man, I wouldn't want to be led by someone known as King Dick, you know? It sounds horrifying. 1897, Grant's tomb. Oh, this was the ferry that got on fire. That's an artist's rendition of it. That's horrifying. So, here we go. Grant's tomb. Famed of song and legend was dedicated. Yep. So that's where Ulysses S. Grant.
Where that is. Washington somewhere.
Grant's tomb, I would suspect. Would Arlington be a cemetery by then? I mean, Arlington was Robert E. Lee's plantation. No, it's in Manhattan. Okay, that I did not expect it to be there. So yeah, if you're in Manhattan, New York, Grant's tomb is somewhere over there. Okay. Well, we got here 1899, foundation of Phonogrammarchiv of the Austrian Academy of Science, the world's first research sound archive, added to UNESCO's Memory of the World in 1999. All right, and I'm going to image search this. We'll get to that here in a minute. So, let's see. Image search this, yada yada. Oh yeah, here we go. So let me bigger this so I can see if there's any text. This is just history of linguistic research. So this is, it's a composition, it says the world's first research sound archive. So, where was it? Yeah, right here. First research, so they're researching audio and everything. 1900s now, 1903, the first Highlander, later to be a Yankee, shut out Philadelphia A's 1-6 to none.
Called the Highlanders. We talked about that somewhere in the past, I remember.
But see, here's the problem. You can't be the Highlanders, plural, because according to the movie, there can only be one. You know? You have to use your sword to cut off the head of the other ones, you know? Like, come on. And absorb their powers. 1904, I haven't seen that movie yet, though, and I know some of the lore. That's weird. The Australian Labour Party under Prime Minister Chris Walton became the first Labour government in the world. Wow. Okay. 1905, World Exposition opened in Liège. I think that's somewhere in France. 1906, the State Duma of the Russian Empire met for the first time. Okay. 2 years later, the fourth Summer Olympics, Modern Olympic Games, opened in London. Okay. So, 1909, Sultan of Turkey Abdülhamid II was overthrown and succeeded by his brother Mehmed V. Huh. Ain't that a bitch? You know, we've had so many articles of family members backstabbing each other, a son blinding and deposing his uncle, a mother killing her son, daughter, all sorts of random stuff. Crazy. 1910, Belgian Parliament rejected socialist motion for general voting rights. Okay, well, usually socialism is a good thing, but I agree with general voting rights. 1910 as well, Louis Botha and JBM Herzog established a moderately nationalist South African party promising equality of Britons and Boers. And I believe this was the start of apartheid or something, because Louis Botha, later his descendant P.W. Botha, this guy, he was, let's see, yada yada, one of the leading generals, yada yada. I'm trying to see if this says, I know P.W. Botha it does, though.
Says what?
About his involvement with apartheid.
Oh.
Yeah, thank you. What else do we got here? 1910, we got that one. In 1911, following the resignation and death of William P. Frye, a compromise was reached to rotate the office of President pro tempore for the time being of the United States. So that's what pro tempore means, for the time being.
Yeah.
So I guess like the position is rotated from like different successor positions. That makes sense. So that way somebody can't play a game knowing that they can be in a premeditated successor position and become the president pro tempore, and with his temporary authority probably can issue a state of martial law and suspend elections. Like, this country can be taken over so easily through our litigation. It's crazy.
Well, look what Hitler did.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, even in more modern times, I thought, most likely he wasn't going to do it, but I would laugh if Trump became president through being the Speaker of the House. Yeah, because we were thinking back, in 2020, 2021, everything, Brandon wasn't doing well. They were going to remove him and then put in Camel Toe Harris, and she's a nut job, so they get rid of her. And who's third in line? If Trump had put himself into that Speaker of the House, he'd be third in line.
Yeah.
That would have been fucking hilarious to see. 1911, Indian passive resistance in South Africa was suspended when General Jan Smuts entered into negotiations with Mahatma Gandhi. Now, keep in mind of that name, Jan Smuts and Smedley Butler. That's another name of somebody. But that's a whole conspiracy rabbit hole thing, going down. I gotta show you that. Now, remember, I forgot to show you the scenes from Chernobyl yesterday.
Oh yeah.
So, you know what? I'm gonna bring it up right here, just so that way it's in the thing. Show you Chernobyl after the show. It'll be there. I'll move that over there. Moving on up, 1912 relief laws in Netherlands replaced those of 1854. So that was 58 years it took, if I'm doing my math correctly.
What was relief?
Relief laws.
Oh.
So, yeah. 1914, Honduras became a signatory in the Buenos Aires Copyright Treaty. All right. You know what? If anybody wants to know, because I really should look things up every now and then. Just because I know something doesn't necessarily mean the audience does. But the Buenos Aires Convention, the Buenos Aires Copyright Treaty, is an international copyright signed in Buenos Aires, Argentina, on August 11th, 1910, providing mutual recognition of copyrights where the work carries a notice containing a statement of reservation of rights. Article 3, this was commonly done with the phrase, all rights reserved. And everybody knows that phrase, one way or the other. So, and now it's international. It looks like it's mainly the West Coast. But there's various international copyright treaties, and this one, is for the Americas. And Honduras, this is when they joined in. So, the more you know. 1918, Giants 9-0 winning start, and Dodgers 0-9 losing streak were stopped.
Wow.
Okay. Were they fighting each other the whole time? That's weird.
No.
9 for 0 and 0 for 9.
Yeah.
They're a palindrome. 1920, pogrom leader Petlura declared Ukraine independence. And pogrom is a I'll just look this up here really quick so that way, because I know what it is, but I don't know how to really define it. It's a violent riot incited with the aim of massacring or expelling an ethnic religious group, usually applied to attacks on Jews. So essentially, a pogrom created Ukrainian independence. That's not a good way to start your country, So, yeah. 1920, Sweden took the figure skating double of the Antwerp Olympics when Gillis Graffersson won his first of 3 consecutive gold medals. Magda Julin earlier won the women's singles event. Cool. 1926, 1 century ago, in the Giants' 9-8 win over the Phillies, Mel Ott, at the age of 17, was that was his first appearance.
Ah, 17. Wow.
Yeah, they could have written this differently, or maybe I can for a presentation. 1927, Carabineros de Chile, the Chilean National Police Force, and Gendarmerie. It's a weird word. I'm trying to find it here. This word here. So, was created. Okay, what is this? Like military thing? Gendarmerie. Yeah, Gendarmeries or something. It's a military or paramilitary force with law enforcement duties among the civilian population. So it's military police for civilians. That's not good. Then again, our modern police force these days are very militarized up with all of their body armor and all their weapons and everything. I mean, like, ever since the Hollywood shootout, escalation has been a primary concern, Like, the bad guys get bigger guns, the good guys need armor and bigger guns, the bad guys get armor and bigger guns. When does it stop,
Yeah.
So, you're going to say something, though?
No.
1930, White Sox first baseman Chud Clancy did not handle the ball at all in a 9-inning game versus St. Louis Browns.
What a weird thing to say.
Yeah. So, like, what?
He didn't make any plays. Nothing happened to him.
Oh, okay. 1931, 100 degrees Fahrenheit or 38 degrees Celsius in Pahala, Hawaii, state record. That's pretty hot. 33, Adolf Hitler authorized the creation of Ministry of Aviation in part to relieve the German Luftwaffe, or revive the German Luftwaffe, under Reichsmarker Hermann Göring. So here we go. This is when it starts.
Yeah.
33 as well. Karl Jansky reported reception of cosmic radio signal in Washington, D.C. That's intriguing.
Toxic?
Cosmic radio signal.
Oh.
So, we're not to that picture yet, though. So, let's see. It told me to image search this. Oh, yeah. I just wanted to show, like you know how, like, we have in the desert those huge satellite dishes now? Like, like, to listen to solar winds or, like, to listen for, like, ET signals and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Well, back in this time, 1933, this is what they had. This is what they got a cosmic radio signal from this device. This is how they picked it up. Instead of those massive, like, you know what I'm talking about, those huge, huge facilities.
Yeah.
So,
Big dishes.
these guys here,
Yeah.
that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. So, but this is what they had. This was what it was back then. Isn't that wild?
It is.
That's cool. 1935, Brussels World Exhibition opened. Yep. 35 as well. Yanks pull a first inning triple play and beat Philadelphia A's 9-8. All right. That's awesome. 36, United Auto Workers, UAW, gained autonomy from the American Federation of Labor. Okay. 37, the first U.S. Social Security payment was raised, or was made. 1940, Himmler ordered the establishment of Auschwitz concentration camp. Okay, we're coming on. I was wondering if I skipped over that picture because it's been bugging me. 41, German troops occupied Athens in Greece. During Italy's botched invasion of Greece, Germany had to go in and help them there too. 1942, here we go. Belgian Jews were forced to wear stars. Now, this is an awful thing to look at, but it just shows that Romania. This is their thing. Netherlands, Belgium, Germany, and France. So they had different types.
I didn't know that.
I didn't either. But this way, like as awful as this is to say, if you encountered them, you know where they're from. Like if they escaped or anything. Terrible. Oh, yeah, but this guy is mind blowing. We'll get to him in a minute here. 1942, tornado destroyed Pietor, Oklahoma, killing 100, injuring an additional 300. 43, Soviet Union broke contact with Polish government, exiled in London. Okay. Now, this one's going to blow your mind. 1943, does this guy look familiar? Right here? This guy?
Oh, yeah.
Oh. Witold Pilecki escaped from Auschwitz after having voluntarily been imprisoned there to gain information about the Holocaust. Holy Mother of God. He went to Auschwitz on his own accord. He was not even a Jew, but he somehow got, maybe he was, I don't know. But he got in there to spy on the fucking Nazis from a god. Balls are not enough of a word to describe what this dude has.
Really?
Like, holy shit. And that's him, in his prison outfit there. But I mean, dude, the Polish man, Like, you know, I remember a couple weeks or so ago, like, we covered that one Polish guy. He saved the life of George Washington. Like, what was his name? Let me look it up. I got to talk about him again. Polish, come on, click. There we go. Polish guy who saved George Washington. Okay. Yeah, Kazimierz Pulaski, I believe. Father of the American Cavalry or the Soldier of Liberty. He was one of the leading military commanders of the Bar Confederation and fought against the Commonwealth Foreign Domain, yada yada yada. This is his whole thing. But yeah, like at one point he saved George Washington or something, and from some British thing or something, I don't remember. But if he hadn't done that, Washington would have been killed or captured or something, and United States might have never been a thing. We might have lost. So we have Poland to thank, just as much, if not more so, than France. So 1944, Boston Brave Jim Tobin no hits Brooklyn Dodgers 2-0.
No hitter, man.
No hitter. 45, Italian partisans captured Benito Mussolini in Dongo near Lake Como. And right here, I think this guy is Mussolini right here. Because that looks like it's either this guy or this guy. I think it's this guy. That looks like Mussolini. So, because he kind of has like the same face structure right there. This guy just looks different. So, what else do we got here? 1945, during World War II, the Volksschreiber Beobacher, the newspaper of the Nazi Party, ceased publication. Good. We also have the last German formations withdrew from Finland to Norway, the Lapland War, and thus World War II in Finland came to an end, and pardon me, the raising of the flag of the three-country cairn photograph was taken. Is that, hold on a second. I gotta look this up. Raising of the flag of the three-country cairn. Let's see here. What historical photo is this? Oh, this one. I've never seen this one. Hold on a second. Open. I want a bigger image of this. Come on, give me something. There we go. That's better. That's extraordinary. Okay, look at that. So, congratulations, Finland. What else do we got here? 1946, first radar installed aboard a commercial ship. 1947, Babe Ruth Day was celebrated at Yankee Stadium and throughout the U.S. 1 year after that, Arab Legion attacked Gersher Bridge on Jordan River in response to Zionist paramilitary activity in mandatory Palestine. Now, I want to point something out here. Between our primary source and our secondary source, pretty often they say the same exact thing. So there's actually a handful of articles every day that both sources say the exact same thing the exact same way. Yeah. They copy-pasted themselves. But right here we have, because other source says British-controlled Arab Legion attacks Gersher Bridge on Jordan River, and primary source says Arab Legion attacks Gersher, so it's right there. Arab Legion, yada. But the secondary source continues with, in response to Zionist paramilitary attacks, activity in mandatory Palestine. This is more of this, Balfour Declaration, Israel thing, and all that stuff, so... 1950, South Africa passed Group Areas Act segregating races. Here we go. That's definitely apartheid right there. 53, first general elections in British Guinea, won by the People's Progressive Party with Chedi Jagan, first person of Indian descent to be elected to head of government outside South Asia. Wicked awesome, dude. 53, wrestler Freddie Blassie coined the term pencil neck geek.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he's a pencil neck geek. You know what? I'm going to see if they have this on video.
Freddie Blassie.
Yeah. Hold on. I'm going to see if there's a video of this. Why am I getting a side night happiness? That's weird. Okay, well, let's see. Ecosia. Let's see if you can bring me anything. Give me a video. Pencil neck geek. Oh, it's a whole 4-minute thing. Or is this music? This looks like an album. That's music.
But that's him there, yeah.
Oh, so did he do it in a song? I thought he's
a wrestler.
Okay.
I guess he made a song too. I don't know about that. He is a wrestler.
I'm trying to see. Oh,
there he is.
Oh,
that's when he is old.
Huh?
Maybe I can't tell.
Well, maybe nothing but that song. I was thinking it was an interview or something.
Well, he uses. I I don't know where the song came from. Never heard of that.
Well, no. Like
The term he used, oh, take care of that pencil neck geek.
Well, that he made a song out of his term is what I'm saying. Okay, so he did. Okay, so I'm just dumb.
Or he used the term out of the song. One way.
Anyway, 1953, Operation Moolah offered $50,000 to any pilot who defects with a fully mission-capable Mikoyan-Girik MiG-15 to South Korea. The first pilot was to receive $100,000. And I think we will talk about this tomorrow because, like, the first pilot came in the next day.
Oh.
So I think we will talk about this tomorrow. So
when they say Moolah, is that a term or? Is
no, that's the name of operation, like Operation Overlord,
okay.
Operation Moolah. Like it was an actual military operation.
Okay, that's what I'm getting at. Because there's a term not used so much anymore, but he made a lot of moolah.
Yeah, it's slang for money.
Yeah.
And that's the point. Like, this is not like some covert military activity,
right.
but it is a military activity, and they're publicizing it, saying, "Oh, this is Operation Moolah. We'll give you $50,000 if you have a mission-capable one of these planes for us to reverse engineer it and figure out how to defeat the enemy." And as I said, I think we talk about it tomorrow. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna look this up here. Open this in another tab. Operation Moolah. What do you mean no results found? Like, hold on a second. Home. Moolah. Let's see if that works. There we go. Yeah, this was 92. Okay, it's not telling me. Huh. Well, that's why. Because this is from my secondary source. Okay, that's why it's not even on the primary source. Anyway, we're not going to be able to find out until tomorrow, so stay tuned. 1956, undefeated world heavyweight boxing champion Rocky Marciano retired from the ring. 67 as well. Going from 56 to... Wait, what the hell? That's weird. Okay. I put 1967 after 1956. So I'm going to copy that and put that over here for now. We'll get back to that here in a minute. 1959, Today's Show went abroad for the first time in Paris, France. All right. 1959 as well, Mao Zedong resigned as chairman of the PRC, the People's Republic of China, after the disastrous failure of the Great Leap Forward. Yeah, he's a disgusting person. What he did, oof, horrifying. 59 as well, last Canadian missionary left the People's Republic of China. Okay. 1960, the first atomic-powered electric drive submarine was launched, the Tullaby. Cool. So, electric power, like electric drive and all that stuff. 1960 as well, South Korean President Syngman Rhee resigned after 12 years in power. We talked about that yesterday. So, 60 as well, Togo, formerly French Togo, declared independence from French administration. So this was during the whole Vietnam and everything. And Togo, as it said, formerly French Togo. Vietnam was part of French Indochina. So everybody, very much like what happened in the Soviet Union with the dissolution of the Warsaw Pact, this is the dissolution of France's, colonies in Indochina and all that stuff. 61, NASA launched Explorer 11 into the Earth orbit to study gamma rays. Cool. NFL officially recognized Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio.
Oh,
so now, like, it sounded like somebody was doing it as a passion project, and then they made it official.
Yeah, I don't know the history of it, but that's exactly what it sounds like.
Yeah. Sierra Leone declared independence from the United Kingdom. Excellent. I'm always for independence. 1962, Arnold Wesker's Chips with Everything premiered in London. Now, keep in mind, everybody, chips are not the same chips that we know out here in the States. Over there in England, they call fries chips, and then they call chips crisps because they're crispy. So at least that makes sense. But, like, why do we call chips chips? Like, when you think of chip, you think of, like, you chip a rock, but those are not usually little wafers.
It's a chip off the potato.
Is it? Like, it's a slice, right? It's not a chip, it's a slice.
Yeah, but you're not going to call it a slice.
I would. I mean, you don't call scallop potatoes fat chips, do you?
Fat chips.
They are. I mean, there's fat fries. Fatburger has them. If fries can be fat, so can chips. Why not? I mean, hell, well, that's the very thing we're talking about. Fries and chips and crisps.
But no, chips are brittle like a rock. So you've taken a potato and chipped it off, and now it's hard.
I guess so.
Because you chipped it.
I guess so.
I don't know. I'm swinging from the cheap seats.
Yeah, 1963, Cuban Premier Fidel Castro arrived in Moscow. 64, John Lennon's book of poetry and sketches in his own right was published in the U.S. Okay. I don't know why I marked that. That was weird. 65 as well, Robert C. Duncan and Norman L. Baker were granted a patent for the Pampers disposable diaper on behalf of Procter & Gamble. So
yeah, now we're filling up our dump sites.
Yeah, well, like one of my favorite quotes of all times is, politicians are a lot like diapers. They have to be changed often and for the same reason. 67, Expo 67 opened in Montreal, Canada, featuring a giant biosphere designed by Buckminster Fuller. I gotta look that up actually really quick. What's a giant biosphere? Oh, I see it right there. Yeah, look at that. Oh yeah, so that's cool.
That is.
And you have like a whole structure in there to.
The thing is a giant.
Yeah.
It's huge.
1968, Baltimore Orioles pitcher Tom Felbus no-hit Boston 6-0. And then we have the Northern Ireland Civil Rights Association, NICRA, held a rally to protest the banning of a Republican Easter parade. That's not nice. Let the people parade. 71, Kurt Flood resigned Senators after 13 games and departed for Denmark. He didn't stay there long. What the heck, man?
No, he's a big-time ball player.
No, he was only there for 13 games.
Well, that's not his career, though. He was here for a long time.
Yeah, he only with the Senators for 13 games. So.
Well, yeah. I didn't realize he was the Senators as well. 13 games, I guess he did.
Well, maybe he got tired of.
That's a picture of him with the St. Louis Cardinals. You can see on his cap.
Yeah. Well, maybe he got tired of playing politics.
Yeah, I think it was Kurt Flood that.
The joke goes right over your head.
What'd you say?
Maybe he got tired of playing politics. And he was on the Senators.
Oh man, that is a stretch. But I think he is the foundation he went to court over. I believe it was Kurt Flood. That eventually allowed players to have free agency. Because you were basically owned by the club for life.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Yep.
Unless they traded you.
Yeah, that kind of sounds like slavery, but willing slavery, because like you sign up and everything, but then you're theirs. That's very much like how the entertainment industry works.
That's what he fought about.
Yeah. 1972, Apollo 16 returned to Earth after lunar exploration, splashing down in the Pacific Ocean 350 kilometers or 189 nautical miles southeast of the island of Kiritimati. Passamaquoddy. In 1972, New York City Mayor John Lindsay appealed that John Lennon not be deported. Why? Get him the hell out of here. We don't want him. 76, Arabic Monetary Fund established in Abu Dhabi. Okay. 1978, Afghanistan Revolution. This is their national day. Pro-Russian military coup. That does not sound good. We also have cooling tower collapsed at a coal-fired power plant at Willow Island, West Virginia, killing 51 people. Yikes. May you rest in peace.
Cooling tower.
Yeah. Other source says Willow Island disaster and the deadliest construction accident in United States history. 51 construction workers were killed when a cooling tower under construction collapsed at the Pleasance Power Station in Willow Island, West Virginia. Rest in peace. 78, John Excommunicated, former aide to the U.S. President Richard Nixon, was released from the Federal Correction Institution, Safford, Arizona, after serving 18 months for the Watergate-related crimes.
Oh.
Yep. 81, the first female soccer official was hired by the NASL. And you know what? I just realized I forgot to mention Loon's time. Like, that was all the way...
That's way back there.
Yeah. Well, that was the first radar installed aboard the ship. Remember that?
Yeah.
So, Loon's time. I'm going to put that in there. I just remembered. I'm like, holy shit, I did not put that in there. So, where were we? We were on that one. We got 1981. First female soccer official was hired by the NASL. Okay. Paul McCartney's rock band Wings broke up. Okay. Xerox PARC introduced a computer mouse. Oh man, that should have been in the thumbnail. Son of a bitch. Hold on a second. Let me look this up. Let me show you. You know what a mouse looks like. I have one of these. Like, mine has a tail because I don't like all these battery-powered crap. I end up, buying my body weight in batteries. So, but this was the original computer mouse. Well, not that. That's plastic. They had a wood one. Here we go. There we go. That's the original one. That's the original. There's its tail. You got one little nipple for a button, and that's it. But it can follow you in 3D space. Like if you sit back and think, like really, sit back and think about, what a mouse does. You are from your hand using a device, moving something through wire or wireless onto a display on your that is its own thing remarkable, and moving around something to mimic where you want.
Command.
This is fantastic.
Yeah,
dude. Technology is amazing, and people don't step back and like really think about what it is that they just a magic rectangle, dude. Everybody has one of these. But if you go back 20 years and you show this to somebody, they'll lose their mind. 2006, I don't even think iPhones were invented by then.
We've talked about phones many times.
Yeah.
Where I came from.
Yeah.
At my age,
1982, we have the trial of John Hinckley Jr. began for the attempted assassination of U.S. President Ronald Reagan. Yeah, here, look at that guy, like Mr. Mustache. Dude, you wouldn't even... This guy is so unassuming. Hold on, let's see if I can get a bigger picture of this. There we go.
What are you talking about here?
This guy in the photo right here. He looks so unassuming with his mustache, and he looks like a normal businessman, but he pulls out a freaking Uzi.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, whoa, okay, you ain't playing. What else do we got here? 1983, Nolan Ryan became strikeout king at 3,509, passing Walter Johnson.
Wow.
Yeah. 1984, Cleveland Indians defeated the Detroit Tigers 8-4 in 19 innings. 7-14. You're almost on your third 7th inning stretch. By 19.
You and your 7-inning stretches. Yeah.
Well, I like to keep my blood flowing. I'm sorry. I don't want to develop deep vein thrombosis. 1984, we got that one. 84 as well. Over 70 inches of snow fell on Red Lake in Montana.
86 year too.
Yeah. 86, Captain Midnight, John R. McDougall hacked into and interrupted HBO. What is that? Sounds familiar, Captain Midnight. Or is this guy?
Oh, I've seen
that. Okay. Well, no, that's not the right one.
Oh.
No, that's the Max Headroom thing. That's a different one. But I'm not getting anything. I'm going to co-see this. Hold on, let's see here. Captain Midnight broadcast. It was an advertisement or so. I don't know. Yeah, there's been several TV hackings throughout history. Moving on up, 1986, Soviet authorities ordered the evacuation of the city of Pripyat, a population of 50,000 people, one day after the Chernobyl nuclear accidents.
Oh.
Yeah, Chernobyl was yesterday. We covered that.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, radiation.
Yeah, they had to evacuate.
Yeah, which I'm just.
I wonder how many of those people died.
A lot. Hold on a second. Chernobyl explosion. I'll show you the whole scene later on, but I just want to show, this scene is fascinating. I just want to show the explosion part. Here we go. Right here.
Last we have arrived, 1:23:45, explosion. In the instant,
yeah, and it shows
the chain of disaster is now complete.
I mean, can you imagine, can you even show it from afar or something? Right there. Can you imagine seeing that from across the lake or something? Look at that. Oh my god. 1987, the U.S. Justice Department barred Austrian Chancellor Kurt Waldheim from entering the U.S. due to his aid of Nazi Germany during World War II. Other source says, charging that he had aided in the deportation and executions of thousands of Jews and others as a German army officer during World War II. That would do it. 89, Beijing students took over Tiananmen Square in China. Here we go.
Yeah.
Yep. The April 27 demonstrations, student-led protests responding to the April 26 editorial during the Tiananmen Square protests of 1989. And what's really ironic is that, remember when China, a couple of years back, it's not anytime recent, but 4 or 5 some odd years ago or something, or maybe even before 2020, but they made a mention about like, nothing happened in Tiananmen Square in 1989 or whatever, and then people looked it up, and if China had just kept their mouth shut, nobody would have remembered it, because they did suppress it. People did not know about it. But then China said something, and they're like, wait, why are you saying that? That's weird. You know?
Yeah.
What do you mean? You know, like, we already know that. You know, let's see. Oh, shit. You know? The same thing like, YouTube. Like, they shot themselves in their own foot when they were going around telling people not to use ad blockers. A lot of people didn't even realize that there were such a thing as ad blockers.
Oh, I get ad blockers? Wow.
Good job.
Yeah.
89, hurricane in Bangladesh killed 500 people. Yikes. And we have mandatory seatbelt law went into effect in Italy. I'm all for that. Oh, we're in AO's time too. I forgot myself.
Wow.
AO's time. So there we go. So I didn't just forget you, so you don't have to feel bad anymore. And neither do I. 1992, Betty Bothroyd became the first woman to be elected Speaker of the British House of Commons in its 700-year history. Holy crap, dude. Good job, Betty Bothroyd. Nice. 92 as well, the Federal Republic of Yugoslavia, comprising Serbia and Montenegro, was proclaimed. Cool. We also have the Russian Federation, and 12 other former Soviet republics became members of the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank. The Rothschilds are consolidating. 93, 29 degrees Celsius in Genevad, Sweden. Swedish April high temperature record. Why did I read it like that? 94, former U.S. President Richard Nixon, I am not a crook, was buried in Nixon Library in Yorba Linda, California. Hey, I know where that city is. 94, Freedom Day, day 2 of South Africa's first multiracial elections, and the day most people voted, with some queuing for 10 hours. Holy crap. Well, voting is a privilege, voting is a right. I mean, but if it's a right, it's a privilege, because you're privileged in comparison to other countries that can't vote. So would you stand in line to vote for 10 hours?
Probably not. I don't know.
I should. I would say no, but I should, because if I say no, then that should be considered as me forfeiting my right to vote.
Yeah.
People fought and bled and died for me to have that right. I can stand in line for 10 fucking hours, you know?
Yeah, but what's wrong with the system that doesn't...
Well, this was their first multiracial elections. This was after apartheid.
Yeah.
So they had a whole lot of stuff. They would, their infrastructure was not ready for it,
Right. Right.
So, yeah, the interim constitution came into force, from the other source there. 1998, Rock for the Rainforest benefit concert was held at Carnegie Hall in New York City. Performers included Sting, Elton John, James Taylor, Madonna, Billy Joel, Joe Cocker, Emily Harris, Roberta Flack, Madonna Judd, and Tessidi Loca. Livin' La Vida Loca? Well, let's see if do I actually have any comments?
Have you ever
going
seen
on
Joe
here?
Crocker sing?
I have not.
stage?
No, I have not. I'm just looking to see if I have any comments. It doesn't look like they're on there. Oh, I do have on YouTube. I do have on YouTube comments right here. Exposing internet crimes and lies. Cheers, bro. Hey, Dad. I can barely hear you. Your volume level is about 2 of 10. I can barely hear you.
That's not good.
Okay, well let me up the decibels here. So let's see, 9.
My voice is weak. I know that.
Testing. 5.8. Testing. 3.6. Is that louder? Is that loud enough? I hope that is, because I gotta adjust 2 things. So I'm at 3.6 over there, and 3.5 over here. So that should be louder. Yeah, I can see. Yeah, so I guess I lowered it way too low before. So thank you for the heads up, good sir.
Yeah, you bet.
Or good miss, or good whatever you view yourself as, or anything. What else do we got here? 1999, Nevada State Museum discovered the oldest mummy in North America on the shelves of their own museum. After the Spirit Cave mummy, radiocarbon dated it to over 9,400 years old. Whoa. Man. 2002, the last successful telemetry from the NASA space probe Pioneer 10. 2005, the Super Jumbo Jet aircraft Airbus A380 made its first flight from Toulouse, France. Let's take a look at this bird right here. Yeah, it's this aircraft. Oh, pretty big looking aircraft there.
It is
big. 2 decks. So, What else do we got here? 2000. I don't need that up there anymore. 2006. There we go. Construction began on the Freedom Tower for the New World Trade Center in New York City. I remember all that. So, 2007. Estonian authorities removed the bronze soldier, a Soviet Red Army War Memorial in Tallinn, amid political controversy with Russia. You know, like they did that because it was erected while it was under the Soviet Union, and you know, for the same, like under the same reasons why they did it out here. They're getting rid of like, you know, all the Confederate statues and all that stuff in the South, because like, you know, oh, it's a black spot on our history. You know, oh, well, it promotes slavery. No, it doesn't. We need the pain and the anguish of our past to be screaming at us in our face on a daily basis, because their argument is, oh, you can go rent a book from a library. Who the fuck goes and rents a book to read about who freaking Robert E. Lee was? You won't care unless you see oh, who's this motherfucker? Why does he have a statue? Oh, he's this guy. How else? We need to have this in our face. To take history down is stupid.
I agree with that.
Because all you're doing is paving the way, because the path to hell is paved with good intentions. All you're doing is opening the way for ignorance to allow history to repeat itself.
There you go.
Plain and simple. So, what else do we got here? 2007, Israeli archaeologists discover the tomb of Herod the Great south of Jerusalem. Okay. 2011, the deadliest day of the 2011 super outbreak of tornadoes, the largest tornado outbreak in the United States history. Wow. From the other source, it says it's devastated parts of southeastern United States, especially the states of Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, and Tennessee. 205 tornadoes touched down on April 27th alone, killing more than 300 people and injuring hundreds more. Holy goodness. 2011 as well, mummified remains of U.S. actress Yvette Vickers were discovered by a neighbor at her home. She had not been seen since 2010, the year prior. Yikes. Well, they found her.
To discover her, though.
Well, the smell? I don't know. I don't want it either. 2011 as well, U.S. President Barack Hussein Obama, coerced by incessant false birther accusations, publicly released a copy of his birth certificate. Well, dude, if you had nothing to hide, why did it take you so long to fucking, publish it? It doesn't matter how ridiculous it is. Just prove that you are who you are. It's not that hard.
Yeah.
I believe that he was born in Kenya. I do not believe.
A big pusher of that he was. This is obviously before Trump was running anything, but he was a big pusher on that. He wasn't born here.
Barack Hussein Obama was a Muslim Kenyan who came here and destroyed this country in ways unfathomable at the time. Until Biden came. 2018, historic Korean summit. North Kim Jong-un and Moon Jae-in of South Korea agreed to officially end Korean war and rid peninsula of nuclear weapons. Well, that has not happened.
No, they agreed on it, but guess South Korea got rid of theirs. North Korea did not.
Yeah, well, that's
what a surprise.
Shame on South Korea for being that trusting.
True.
But that makes you wonder: are we now is the state of war over, or did because the North didn't get rid of their nukes, was the state of war back on? If they didn't hold up their end of the bargain, was the entire thing
as far as I know, it's still a pause.
Kaput. So it's still an active war, but it's in a ceasefire.
Yeah.
But they're still actively at war. Is my question, because this says
that's what I understand.
This says officially end the Korean War.
Yeah.
But if the North did not honor their nuclear weapon thing, then would that cancel out the end of the Korean War? Are we still at war?
I would say yes, because they didn't do their part of the bargain.
Yeah. 2018, mass protests across Spain after 5 men convicted of sexual abuse but not struggle snuggle of teenage girl during running of the Bulls Festival in Pamplona. Yikes. Swedish band ABBA announced they have recorded new songs for the first time since 1982.
Good grief.
Wow. Nice. 2019, Pope Francis donated $500,000 for migrants stranded in Mexico trying to reach the U.S. Oh, why are you doing that, dude? Come on. 2020, U.S. Defense Department declassified and released videos of unidentified aerial phenomena from 2004 to 2015. Yeah, they tried to change. We always knew them as UFOs, unidentified flying objects.
Yeah.
Well, then they tried to flip the script on us and change. Oh no, now they're unidentified aerial phenomena, so that way it's ubiquitous. But they also have USOs, unidentified submerged objects, or USPs, and all that stuff. And it just, they're weird things. I don't know. 2020, the U.S. Defense Department declassified and released videos. Oh, we got that one. 2022, Italian women footballers finally turned professional after Italian Football Federation changed status of top division. Took effect on July 1st and ended capped amateur salaries. All right, so now they get paid more. See, this is the stuff that the WNBA doesn't do. They don't bust their ass and earn their, they don't bring the money in. These guys brought enough money in that they started making more. So, Caitlin Clark, man, she's gonna do things for that league that they have no idea.
Well, that's the WNBA.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. No, I'm saying the WNBA needs to take a book out of a page out of this book.
That makes I couldn't follow you when you said the NBA.
The WNBA needs to take a page out of this, this Italian women footballers club thing. Their federation changed status to a top division. Essentially, the WNBA became their own NBA. Self-sufficient. What a thought.
Well, they're still not making any money yet.
What?
They're still not making profitable.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. These guys, not only became profitable, but they, it says ended capped amateur salary. So because they went up a division, they're getting paid more.
Yeah.
That's awesome. 2022, SpaceX launched its Crew Dragon capsule with 4 astronauts, including Jessica Watkins, becoming the first black woman to serve extended mission on International Space Station.
Ooh.
All right.
Excellent.
Okay. 2022, U.S. CDC report found that more than half the people, 57.7%, had antibodies for Kung Flu by February 2022, with 75.2% of children and teenagers. Okay? So, hold on a second. I had to sneeze. So, while I talk slightly off screen here, this was about the Kung Flu, and it doesn't help that I'm sneezing after that. But is this only talking about inoculations, or is this just people who have been discovered to have their own antibodies? Or is this more propaganda pushing? More than half people got jabbed. Why don't you just get the shot? 2023 findings from the Zoonomia project was published, where genomes of 240 mammals were collected and compared, revealing 10.7% of the human genome identical to almost all species. Well, it is said that we share 99.8% of DNA with a banana or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Everything's connected. 2023, James Corden's final appearance as host of the Late Late Show on CBS after 1,196 episodes. Good riddance to that friggin', piece of shit. That guy's an ass.
I don't know who he is.
He's an ass. You don't need to know him. 2024, Iraq's parliament criminalized same-sex relationships, passing a law that allows for up to 15 years in prison. That is going backwards. Iraq. Then again, they are a country run by religious intolerance. So, 2024, NASA engineers successfully repaired and recoded Voyager 1 from 15 billion miles away after 5-month gap in not receiving data. That's a lot of miles away.
Yeah.
So why can't I find it on here? That was 2024. They took it off. Son of a gun. They took it off. Between last night and today, they took it off. Because I don't even have it marked from my other source. Wow. Primary source deleted this last night. Wow. 2025, The Settlers documentary by Louis Sirdox premiered on BBC Two, revisiting Israeli settlers 14 years after the release of his film The Ultra-Zionists. And that shall be it, unless you want to hear about this Liverpool thing, but I don't care about, soccer and everything. So that shall conclude the show. We're on the hour on the dot. Look at that. So, yeah, once again, please, check the underbar of the description below for any links that you may find interesting, including but not limited to all things Omni Coalition. A lot of history has and continues to be made on a daily basis, and we can only bring you a portion between two sources. All this 29-page document, we went through all this in our hour. It is up to you to find the artifacts of our history, but only if each individual reaches out with and for open mindfulness, with a yearn to learn, to see outside of what you think you know. Are you mocking me? To grow and find enlightenment. We have to find common ground with those who see their opinions differently from your own and find a better way to be better to one another. I'm just gerrymandering here. For your dose of past events daily, we stream at 5 p.m. Pacific Time, 6 Mountain, 7 Central, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, respectively. I don't even have to look at you to see your bullshit. Okay? I don't even, like, I have my screen here, and I have you here, and I'm looking here, so I have peripheral of bullshit. For all of you and all of us, I'm Mayo Xander.
Golden Moon.
And you, viewer, you, thank you so much for coming in and watching us, and until you catch us next time, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Until then, toodles, and we'll see you next time.